Are you guys sitting at home bored, kind of like me? Maybe you're quarantined, self-quarantining, forced. I don't know, maybe you're just staying away from everybody with what's going on in the world today. But did you ever notice that there could be something that you don't think about, that you don't want, and then as soon as you don't have access to it, you want that thing really bad? For example, I don't want chocolate cake. I never think of it. I never, it doesn't cross my mind. But as soon as I go on a diet, I'm like, dude, I gotta have some chocolate cake. It's the same idea with this. I think we all can find ourselves saying, oh man, if I could just have some time at home where I didn't have to work and I could just relax and catch up and regenerate. Then when you're forced to do it for a period of time, you're like, man, this sucks. I want to get out. I would rather be working than sitting here and doing nothing. It's amazing how the human mind works. So what I thought I would do, today's a miserable day. It's windy. I got my garage open behind the camera. It's windy. It's cloudy. It looks like they're rain clouds, so the sun is coming in and out. The kids are all at home next door or behind, so you may hear them jumping on the trampoline, having fun. Good for them. I'm glad that they're not being affected like a lot of adults who are going freaking bonkers over this stuff. I think that we need to, I always talk about balance. I think we need to find some balance, and hopefully I can help with entertainment rather than death and destruction and doom. So I'm going to do some honey-do lists. So quickly, I got some magazines here that I want to paint, and I did some testing here. I know it's probably hard to see, but it's a lighter color and a darker color. You could probably see that. And the magazines came with some spare base plates, so I was able to actually do some tests right on the base plate. The colors I'm testing, one I've had for a long time, which is just a Rust-Oleum camouflage. This is one I've done some rifle painting with, along with a darker brown. And then I picked up this one, which is Rust-Oleum. It's just like a satin, almost a light bronze, burnt bronze kind of thing. So it's a little bit darker. And oddly enough, this matches some of the coyote colored magazines and guns and stuff a little bit better if you're just going for a single color. This camouflage one, it works really good if you're doing multicolor type jobs. So little backstory here. The P365 is probably, and we're not talking about right now with the crazy gun buying going on, but pre-craziness, the P365 from Sig Sauer was like the best-selling gun in the United States. For a subcompact gun, very, very good seller, all right? And for good reason. It, like a lot of guns, it had some hiccups at the beginning, but I usually try not to jump right onto something right away. I like to wait, some teething pains go away. Anyway, it's been at least a year, maybe longer. I don't even know when the thing originally came out. I've held in the gun store a lot, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool, it's pretty comfortable, but the 10-round magazine just didn't really work for me. My pinky would hang off of it, and it wasn't comfortable. But it was a very accurate gun for how small it is. Now, I've got it right here. I've got it in my holster. So I've got this cool multicam. I know, I like multicam. This is a Tulster brand. You can get these on Amazon, and you can go to their website, Tulster, like Tulsa, Tulster, TULSTER.com. They do, they don't have anything really for light bearing ones or, any kind of real exotic type guns, but your basics they have, and they're really good. They're really good. And what I found was had my Glock 43. I traded it in when the Glock 43X came out because I couldn't shoot the Glock 43 at all for some reason. I don't know, it's crazy, but I couldn't. Got the 43X and I could shoot it good. It was fine, It was the thinner, that whole thinner style, but I could shoot it okay. But what I found, and this is, for anyone who does concealed carry, maybe you'll understand this more than others, is that, putting your wallet and your keys in your pocket, if you're committed to concealed carry, then you're going to put your gun wherever, in your pants, however you carry it. Situational, depends on where you are, what you do, and your beliefs and all that. But If you don't carry, then it's like, okay, then there's a lot of arguments like that. The deal is, if there's a gun that you have and it's either too heavy, too big, too uncomfortable, the holster's not right, that you don't carry it, then you got to make a change, or you're just not going to carry, right? And I found I had a really good holster. I had a Haley Strategic Incog holster for that Glock 43 because they're not far from me down in Scottsdale. And it's a nice holster and it's very comfortable. But for some reason, I just didn't carry that gun that much. I wouldn't carry it. And because of that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try and make a change. So I took a chance. I traded the 43X in and the holster. So I was able to do that. Used with a holster and extra mags and stuff, gets you a little bit more money. And I opted for the Sig Sauer P365. Now this is the Coyote edition. It's an NRA edition, and I don't support the NRA with their lack of doing anything over the past few years. So that's a whole nother story. But I do support Coyote colored guns. So I carry the 365 ammo from Sig in here. It was my first Sig ammo that I tried, and I really like it. I really like it. Once I found out that Sig wasn't just rebranding someone else's ammo with their really nice boxes, I thought they built a factory in a town. I don't remember exactly where it's at, but they built this huge factory to make ammo because what they wanted to do was not only be a firearms supplier to the military, a suppressor supplier, but also the ammo supplier. So they were trying to go from start to finish, A to Z, They wanted to supply the gun, the suppressor, the optic, and the ammo. And I applaud them for that because, hey, that's good business and it's good ammo. This V-Crown stuff. So I went ahead and got some and it shoots really good. So, long story super long. This is a 12-round magazine. It comes with one 12 and I think two 10s in this particular one. And I can get all three of my fingers on there. Okay, I can get all three of my fingers on there. Well, they make some 15-round mags. They make some 15-round mags. Now, it's big and goofy and whatever. So, I don't know. I just thought I got two 15-rounders and I'm going to paint them. It looks like I'm going to use the darker color because the darker color is a lot closer to this than the light one. So I am going to be taping up these mags as part of my, I love that holster. Oh, and just to finish off on this, I just like putting my wallet in my pocket, I slide this, I appendix carry this. And I don't even know it's there. I wear it with my, whether I'm wearing cargo shorts or pants, jeans, whatever. And it sits right in there. It's very comfortable. For me, in this holster, it's very comfortable. I can, everything's good about it. It's a very small gun. It's very accurate. It's very accurate for such a small gun. And I was pleasantly surprised. And every time I go to the desert to go do some target shooting, whatever my carry gun is, before it was the Glock 19, I was using the 19X. I don't know if you can see, I've got all the mags over here. Whatever my carry gun is at the time, when I go out there, I will load up however many magazines I have or take extra ammo. And I will put 200 rounds through my carry gun every time. Come back, clean it up, make sure it's not fouled up, and it's good to go. Two things. One, I keep it running. I'm used to that gun. I'm not just taking out full-size frame guns and go, boy, I can shoot so good. And you pull out this little one and you can't hit the broadside of a barn. Well, I practice with it. And I get good and accurate with that gun. So every time I go out, I do that. It's a practice that I've been doing since I moved to Arizona, since I could actually carry. The other thing is, I picked up one of these laser bore sighter things. I got this one on Amazon. It's called Sightlight. And it's got, a taper, and it uses O-rings. And a lot of these are the same style. What they do is you get the O-ring or whatever some of them actually screw in and use like a wedge system that flares that wedge out. What that's supposed to do is get to the caliber of your bore of your barrel. And then as you push it in, this taper here, it either hits the crown of your barrel, or if you've got a muzzle device on like I do here, which is a dead air 3-prong flash hider for my suppressor mount. But because of ammo shortages, I figured instead of going out and dumping a bunch of ammo trying to sight in a gun, I could get it close with this and then go out and fine tune it in the desert. So this is, there, I'll just see if you can see the dot there. And I'm gonna aim it across the street at my neighbor's house. Yep, I see it over there too. See it on the wall. Now this gives you, I haven't used this thing yet, so don't think that I'm recommending this. Instruction manual comes in one of those, kind of plastic cases, but it's got foam. It's got all the O-rings. It's got stuff for, I think, a shotgun. I think this goes all the way up to, it goes from 22 caliber all the way up to 50 caliber. So that's what this does. It comes with this little leveling thing. I don't know if you can see that, but up here it's got an actual bubble level on it. It also has a target thing inside here. It also comes with a disc. I don't know why disc, old school, right? A disc with some software, and I think there's an app to where you can punch in the information about your rifle and your optic. And what it'll do is it'll say at 25 yards, put your card, and your laser dot versus the center of your reticle. This is the offset that it should be, the offset from where the optic sits to where the bore sits. There's always that offset. Now, when you're zeroing a rifle, at some point, those two offsets are crossing each other, right? So if your optic is here and your bore is here, if you're doing a 50-yard zero, well, at 50 yards, boom, they're crossing right there. But as they go, then the bullet is going up, and then they cross again at another point farther out. That's why military, there's a lot of people talking about what's the best zero for what particular caliber. It really depends on what you do. Like, I don't target shoot with this past 200-300 yards. Everything really is like 100 yards and in. And the whole reason why I picked up this used, you guys, I'm so lucky. I have the best gun store around. I'm best friends with the owner, and it's just great. I get great deals. I'm able to try something out, trade it in. He lets me try some of his stuff out. It's a really good deal. But he had this Leupold VXR Patrol. It's a 1.25 to 4 rifle scope. And it has on the third turret on the left side of it, it's a rubberized button. You push that button, and at the center of the crosshairs, it makes a red dot. And it is incredible. I've had some other rifle scopes. I have one on the Scar. I have one sitting in there that I'm not using. But I tell you why I did this. I went out to the range a month or so ago, and I set a target up out at 200, 150, and I was trying to dial in some red dots. I was trying to dial in the red dot that I had on here. Remember, I had the Trigicon MRO? Great red dot. And it was just the time of year where the desert, it obviously wasn't white. The targets were freshly spray painted white, metal targets. The regular full size IPA or whatever they call them, competition size. And the 50 was fine, the 100 was fine. When I got out to that 200, I got out of my thing. I'm looking out there and I couldn't see it. It blended in with the kind of the light brown, the reddish clay dirt, the shrubs and everything. I couldn't see the damn thing. Like, I really couldn't. And then after straining and shooting a little bit, get a little bit of gas up into your face, I was even struggling a little bit at the 100, to be honest with you guys. Now, that's partially the desert's fault, and so the sun faces me where I'm shooting, and it's hard to see enough with that, the extra glare, the color of the desert. But as you get older, your eyes, you know, they start to go south or play tricks on you. So I'm really building this gun to just be my all around, really like best AR, because it's got really good parts on it. It shoots really well. It's very accurate. BCM upper. So I bought the upper. It's got a Wilson combat lower. Now, some weirdness with that. I've actually had gotten the lower like a year or so ago, and for a build, I never built anything with it. So it's a good lower. It's really good. It's cool looking if you're into that. So it's a BCM upper, a Wilson combat lower, and it's got all Geisley lower parts, including trigger, and it's even got the new Geisley BCM, the bolt carrier group. BCG, bolt carrier group, and the Geisley charging handle, a PWS enhanced buffer tube with its ratcheting lock, and the Viltor stock. And now it's outfitted with this loophole. So what I want to do is, I think this red thing at the back, I read the directions. You're supposed to unscrew this. Only use this from 308 and up. So 762 by 51 and up, you have this on, and you start to apply O-rings to that. These two fixed O-rings on here are for 22 caliber, which is the 223, and you slide this in. That's off camera, you can't see it, but I'm gonna take a quick peek, hold on. Now my head isn't optimal to where I would be cheek resting this thing. So what I need to do is I need to put one of these targets out according to whatever their recommendation is. I think it's 25 feet. So probably from here to my gate, I put the target out there and measure the offset between where the red dot is and where the center of the reticle is. And you can make those adjustments. Now what I just saw there was, so if this is the vertical line, the dot was just barely off it down here. So the windage could come over just a click or two and get that perfectly lined up. And then you would do your elevation, whatever the offset is for this caliber. I don't know if they go all the way into barrel length, where you want to zero it at, but I need to look into that. So that's something I'm going to be doing. Like I said, it's, you know, what is she going to do? Sitting at home bored? I'm going to tape these mags up and paint them, even though I don't really have any sun out there. But, you know, I've been kicking around for a while about videos. I wanted to, you know, obviously make regular videos, but then when the crisis pandemic has happened, I've really gone back and forth with what kind of video I wanted to make. What I really want to do is I want to just make some entertaining videos to do what I always do. Take your mind off of whatever may be ailing you in your normal life, whatever troubles you may be having. Maybe you got a bout of depression, maybe you had a bad day at work, and I do this all on my gaming channel. And if you guys are into gaming and you don't know about it, I have over 5,000 videos on my gaming channel. So there's plenty of stuff over there to take your mind off of what's going on if you're stuck at home. But here, you know, I didn't know if I wanted to talk about this, all the stuff that was going on, because it seems like everybody else is, and I'm not impressed with the videos that are being put out. There's channels, gun channel, outdoor channels that I've watched in the past that I feel are capitalizing on the chaos, and it's very surprising. I didn't think, there's some that aren't. There's some that are like specifically making videos to entertain, to inform about this stuff and not about that stuff. So yeah, it's really burned my ass a little bit about some of these people who, even some of my ex-military channels that I watched to support, they've kind of caught on to the whole YouTube clickbait bullcrap. You know, you start seeing a channel with a thumbnail, they're wearing a mask and stuff like that. Come on, let's let's try. Look, there's some people that are going to be upset and feel helpless during this time. And it's times where people like this, who do this stuff, who try to help people be more self-sufficient and self-reliant, giving them, these scare tactics, it's not the way to do it. If you're supposed to be a sheepdog, they all call themselves sheepdogs to protect the sheep. You don't do that by intimidating them into maybe relying only on you, or you're just doing it to get views. Nah, not me. I can't do that. I can't do that. I have a lot of advice to give, but I feel my integrity is this, and it may be wrong. It may be wrong, but it's the only thing that works for me. Instead of making a video talking about like what I'm talking about now, I just don't do anything, and I just sit here and stew in my own frustration, because it chaps my hide. The people who I respected are, doing clickbait stuff and making videos for views, and not just trying to help themselves, help their family, help their friends, help their community get through this. Because I'm going to tell you guys real quick in ending here that what I think the biggest problem here is the effect on our economy. We need to get back to work. As a country, we need to get back to work. So if we need to self-isolate, if we need to all buckle down for 2 weeks, if we need to do this, what they're calling social distancing, stay away from people, which I do already, let's do it. And let's get through this. Some people are going to be affected. We're going to lose some people, and that's unfortunate, and it's terrible. But we lose people to stuff every day by the thousands, okay? Making people scared and scare tactics and force buying products and running the stores empty. And then you've got, like, I've got a lot of elderly neighbors, and I'm here to help if they need it. That's just me. And I think that needs to be a lot of us here, because we get through these things when we band together, not when we hoard frickin' toilet paper. All those people that got all that toilet paper, what are you doing now? Sitting on a stack of toilet paper in your garage going, why did we do that? What the heck do you need all that toilet paper for? You should have got food and provisions just in case you got locked down for 2 weeks, not toilet paper. You made a mass panic for no reason. If you can't eat, you're not going to crap. What do you need toilet paper for? Cut up some t-shirts. If it got that bad, then the toilet paper would have went mad rush on the other end, not at the beginning. I'll never understand the toilet paper thing. I hope you guys have stacks in your garage and you don't know what to do. I hope you go take it to homeless shelters, or take it to the wherever, tent cities, soup kitchens. Donate that stuff to somebody else, because when you come out of this, look at yourself in the mirror and say, boy, what the heck did I do that for? It's called the mass panic, right? We got to stay away from that. People trying to capitalize on that. Here's what you need to do to prep. We have a Can We Survive channel. We've been talking about this stuff for how many years? People call us paranoid. They always say, Chris, why do you carry a gun when you go hiking? Why do I have to explain myself? Because that's what I do. I'm out in the middle of nowhere by myself. They think that 911, you're going to snap your fingers and first responders are going to be at your front door to save you. Now you come to find out that first responders are backing off on a lot of things. They're only going to come out in the most serious situations because they have families too. They have to still protect the overall public. You're your own first responder. So you need to have medical, you need to have water, you need to have food at all times. At the times when you're thinking about going to spring break and partying, at times at Christmas and all the fun times, it's still got to be in the back of your mind that you're ready to take care of yourself, your family, your friends, and your community in whatever way you can. You don't just wait till the news media tells you there's a mad panic and you go clear the store shelves. You fighting for something over this person here? What if this person needs it more than you do? Why don't you take half and give them half? Right? This is what humanity is supposed to be. And I'm still waiting to see if humanity is going to come back and save me from, just chalking them off to nothing, that humanity doesn't exist anymore. I see it everywhere here in my town. It's great. But my town is full of retired people, retired first responders, a lot of veterans. There's a lot of great people here. And, there's no panic. I am in a rural area though. I'm just thankful, and I'm thankful I don't live in the big city anymore, and I can't imagine you folks that are in the big metropolitan built-up areas. It's hard, even if you want to be that person who helps. The next person's not going to be, and they're going to go grab the thing before you can get it and either divide it up or whatever that is. So that's all I really want to say about this. Is I've lost faith in a lot of people trying to take advantage of this. One last thing in closing. If this thing is so serious, and I'm not saying it isn't, because I had something happen to me, and I don't know what it is. If you're not going to die, you're not supposed to go to the doctor. You're supposed to stay at home. If you think you have something. Something happened to me a week ago, and I honestly thought I was on the edge. Yeah, I couldn't breathe. Never happened to me before in my life. That's a whole nother story. So I don't get me wrong. I think this is very serious when it comes to a virus that we need to eradicate, all right? And the people are going to die from this. But if it's so damn serious, look at the media. And when I talk about media, I don't mean your local news. I mean those damn cable news shows. CNN, and MSNBC, Fox, all of those guys spreading their ideology, trying to get you, hey, remember, it's an election year, right? What a better way to mix up the pot and get their person to win by scaring you with false information. False information. It's not journalism. Journalism is your local TV. Well, if you have to watch the news, watch what's going on where you're at, in your area. What's going to directly affect you through this? You want to go back to your Real Housewives and your drama bullshit later on with your cable news media, then that's on you. But right now, you need to know what's going on right around you. So get rid of that stuff. And the other thing is, look at our politics. Look at our politicians. They can't even stand together, saying that we're the government. We're here to serve the people and make sure that we get through this thing as efficiently as we can. No. Oh, they're making a bill. Well, we're going to write our own bill, and we're going to slide this in and slide this in. And that one governor or the one senator, he's trying to do a gun ban, like a mass sweeping gun ban. Like, really? Their ideology is still flowing through, even though this state of emergency, and that word comes from them. So who do we believe? I'm telling you, all of them are whack. Way over here, way over here. We need to be somewhere. I'm not saying here. That's unrealistic. Somewhere here. It's called balance. This is balance. This isn't, and this isn't. This is balance. All right? We disagree, we agree, we talk, we figure things out. Everyone around the world could be right here. Okay? And, but I think it's a pipe dream. I think it's a pipe dream. But this should tell you about our government here in the United States. Even in a state of emergency, a pandemic that could kill everybody, they're still acting like children. So, what do you say? Is it not serious because they're acting like jackasses still? Or is it serious and they just don't care about us? They just don't care about us. And that's why people are mad buying guns and ammo and prepping supplies now, because some of the people that were either on the fence or disagreed with it got a wake-up call saying, oh my God, those people I always said were paranoid, why they carry guns, why they do what they do, it's because they know that when the crap hits the fan, 911 is not going to work. You have to take care of yourself, your friends, your family, and your community. And if there's more people doing that, we'll get through this thing. We'll get through this thing. We'll get through this thing with some lumps, some bumps, bruises, some deaths, but we'll get through it. And we got to get through it quick.